Borders are racist, let me in. And that is the cry of one asylum seeker stuck in France who, I don't know, just being in France is the worst thing in the world and just needs to come here. So this is, of
I
course...
can sympathise to a certain degree.
Who can't? Frogs. Anyway, so this is obviously revolving around the situation with the channel migrants, and we won't dwell on this too much because, yeah, who's not bored of it? It's gone on forever, but quite frankly, it's a problem that needs fixing. So this is the French insisting they won't do a deal with the UK, and who's seen this coming? Everyone, because it's not in their interest. So let's move on. Let's go to Trevor Phillips, who said something dumb. Who, I bigged them up before, so I'll probably bring him up again because I disagree with him on this. He's like, yeah, there's no way of suppressing this. Just return them. Literally just, okay, you'd like to come to UK. That's very nice. Go back to France now. Apply over there.
Yeah, just do the Hungarian thing. Just turn them around, pop them in the other side of the border, and then go bye-bye.
I know, like, leftists think that we're returning them to Syria by doing that, but France is not that bad. At least not northern France.
You may remember, but before all this was going down...
Some people pay to go on holiday there.
I know, exactly. I've spent many a lovely fortnight in France.
Anyway, so also we have to, of course, deal with the kind of people, or look at the kind of people we're dealing with. So if we go to the next one here, we have the Polish migrants, for example. So this is Visegrad24, who is a lovely account. And they just tweet out news from the Visegrad group, and this is the Polish-Belarusian migrant war, because, of course, the Belarusians are using it as a weapon against the Poles and Europe de facto. And, of course, these are the migrants that have got through. They put them in a detention facility, and they're beating the crap out of the place because they want to go to Germany. They're not asylum seekers. These people are fakes. Do not waste your time. Anyway, so we also have the people who have died in the channel, and you may have to excuse my lack of sympathy, but I really don't care at this point, quite frankly. So this is a woman who died in the channel, and there's a picture of her at some kind of get-together in a dress. And it says in here, Mariam Nouri... I can't pronounce that. A 21-year-old Kurdish woman from northern Iraq has been named as the first victim of Wednesday's tragedy in the channel. Mariam had travelled to Germany and on to France in a journey to join her fiancé who already lives in Britain. So she went through many safer country, couldn't be bothered with applying there, or maybe did and was rejected, as most are, and then was like, I'll just go to the UK because my fiancé's over there. The fiancé, they were texting. So he did a thing to get like a ferry over. Yeah, come see her.
Pretty lazy of him, really, to decide to I'll just sit my arse in England, wait for her to show up.
I'll pay the people smugglers $3,000, or whatever it is, so she can risk her life to come here and then be an illegal. Or I could get the ferry over and see her, maybe get her some, I don't know, a hotel room or something if she needs that, or fill in the paperwork for asylum application. No.
I guess bad choice, chap.
Yeah, so that's why I have no sympathy for this. It's just, grown adults risk their lives in a stupid way and then die. Imagine my shock. So, no sympathy for them.
If you're paying someone to illegally smuggle you over the channel, you kind of got to recognise the risks that come with that.
You're the one risking your life.
Exactly.
And if you end up dead, well, that is your fault. You had no reason to do it. You could have applied in France and you didn't.
Do not
The only people who have sympathy, and we should have sympathy for, is, of course, the kiddos. So in here, they say 17 men, 7 women. I love how, the images of her and all the rest of it, because that's how humans work. We care about the woman dying. The 17 men, fighting age, just like all the other men, every other time of the year. Don't care about that. So anyway, 7 women, and 2 teenage boys and a girl died in Calais while trying to reach the UK in a small inflatable boat. So, endless sympathy for the kiddos, because it's not their fault. For the adults, they're just evil. You risk the lives of your children and yourself for a meaningless reason.
Yes.
Just because you want to be in the UK.
And this is what happens.
Anyway, so then we get to the lunatic, who I want to talk about mainly. So this is Borders is Racist Man. And so this is a friend of mine, Connor. He went on France 24, and there was a member of the French Parliament, some other frog, and this guy and Connor. And they were debating the situation, and the French guys... kind of pointless. I mean, I kind of... there was like a sense on their face that they've been through hell, and quite frankly, they don't want to talk about it. And, as much as we make fun of the French, you make fun of us. Yeah, you have been through hell, especially with migration and terrorism. And so, I feel...
Yeah.
But the correct solution to this is, of course, to return them back to France, process them there, and if they're legitimate, we'll take them. If they're not, well, then we send them back to Sudan together. But that's not going to happen because the French government, from their perspective, of course, it's better to just send them all to England. And, they are right from their perspective.
It's easier, that's for sure.
Yeah, so anyway, so there is a chap on here, the most interesting chap, who is a photojournalist who applied for asylum, has got the asylum, so a legitimate asylum seeker. There are some in this train. And he's now working in France, and he is mega butthurt that you can't just run over to the UK, and he gives the most amazing parts of this interview, and we're going to enjoy them. This is clip 1 in which he says, he gets asked, why don't the native French homeless essentially do this, and here's his response.
why don't the migrants or the asylum seekers go to shelters or file papers to apply for their asylum in France?
So I think the answer to this question, like why immigrants don't want us going to the shelter, because there is not enough shelter to the immigrant, and most of the immigrant who's living in Calais, their application been refused in other European country.
Pause there. Did you hear what he just said?
Their applications have already been refused in other countries.
Why might that be?
Because they're not legitimate, perhaps?
They're fakers.
Well, yes.
They're not people fleeing war or persecution. That is not an asylum seeker. That is a migrant who has no more right to be in Europe than any random Indian chap you might meet in India.
Yes. I would imagine that all of these people are economic migrants.
They just, well, my country poorer than that country, therefore I deserve that country.
Me want big number, make
That don't
happy.
work. You know, that's not how it works. You break into Russia, go for it. See how that goes for you.
Yeah. Try Hungary.
Not going to happen.
I've heard they're very welcoming to outsiders these days.
But anyway, you would have thought that'd be the end of the debate, or someone would have butted in or something, but no. People let that fly for somewhat reason. But I just love it. He literally opens his mouth in the first part of the debate and immediately admits this is all a farce. Why won't they apply for asylum in France? They've already tried and failed. Says their advocate.
Yes,
the guy advocating for their position.
They know they'll fail again, so just let them in. You
God.
could even see as the question was being asked, the cogs turning in his head. He just looked super confused. He's like, "What? I just want to get in. What's the problem?"
Literally, that is going to be the argument, and it'll get more blatant as we go forward. So we'll go for the next clip in which he's asked, well, you know, why are they not safe in France? Let's go.
With many people, when I speak, they speak perfectly German, Spanish, Italian. They've been in other European countries. They've been refused, and they know it's very dangerous, and they know their friends been dying in the sea. And today, when I talk to people, I say, you don't scare, you still want to try to go? And I say, yeah, of course I still want to try to go, and this is not the place to live, and I'm not safe here, and I'm in dangerous here.
I mean, just liar. I mean, I love again at the start of that, because that's one clip. I just paused it there because of the point. But he again mentions, you know, they've already been refused.
Yeah, okay.
Whose fault is that? Anyway.
Yeah, also, just because you can speak the language of a country doesn't mean you have any right to be there.
Yeah, but
That's just pretty simple.
But the argument goes, they've been refused in France and Germany. That would be the end of the conversation. But he says, no, because of that, they're unsafe in France. Whose fault is that? Who else could it possibly be except the individual who made a fake asylum claim, is not legitimate, and has now found himself in a situation where he doesn't feel safe?
Whoops.
I think the French did it. Anyway, let's go to the next clip.
I think when I speak to many Afghans, they're waiting years and years and years to get the asylum. They're looking for the safety. The first things when I ask them what you want, and the first answer will be to this question: we want to get asylum and we want to be legal, because people still call them illegal. No human being should be illegal.
Stock leftist rhetoric. But just no human being should be illegal. Don't break the law then.
Yeah, this is the exact rhetoric that we see from the Refugees Welcome Brigade, who are down in Bristol and Dover and wherever.
But also I love the idea that, well, they're unsafe in France because they're fake asylum seekers. Okay, whose fault is that, as I mentioned? But also, what should they do then? Go home.
Yes.
You have no right to be here. You have no reason to be here.
You made it all the way there. I'm sure you can make it all the way back.
We'll pay for the flights. We do. Many a time. But okay.
If anything, it's the cheapest option for us.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the last clip here, the next one.
There's no better life when you leave home. There's no better life in UK than living in your country. You don't have your friends in UK. You don't have your family in UK. You don't have the documents. You don't have any of these things what you had before. But people has no choice. What's the better life to the immigrant when they're coming to UK? Because people, they just wanna save their life.
They're just trying to save their life. They have no choice. But also, it's not good to be in the UK because they don't have their friends or family, but they do back in their home country. It's like, well, okay, then...
Okay, well, then just, don't come over here, I suppose. Yeah. Also, what entitles you to get a better life from where you came from when you come here? Are we supposed to just hand that out to people?
No more right to be here than anyone else. Anyway, if you go to the next link, we have the data. So the data shows that 46% of asylum applications from the House of Commons are unsuccessful. So more than 50% don't make it because they're fake or lying or withdraw their claims. So there's that to take into our mind. Anyway, but the tens of thousands of applicants apply every year. So this argument that there's no route to get here either is just BS. You can apply.
Yeah.
Thousands do every year. Thousands get accepted every year. Just don't fall for it. But also the French sea people are a new thing, of course. So let's go for the last clip in which he just screeches out the borders are racist at the end of the interview so no one can respond. And let's go for this last one.
I think, as I said before, people has no choice and they will try to cross because there's no legal system to them. It's very shame. But as you see, like he said, people has to come legally. They want to come legally. Who try to go by boat? Who want to risk their life? Because I'm legal refugee. I have the documents and everything. I had contract to go to UK to photograph little Amal, and I applied to go legally, and I had the contract. They didn't give me the visa. Okay, he said people have to go the legal way, but its legal way exists to you, not to us, because of our color, because where we are from. And he said the border we need. You don't think the borders are racist? Yeah, of course it's racist. You can come where you want to go legally. You call yourself legally, but you still don't understand it's not legal to us, and there's no legal way how they can go legal.
Just apply like anyone else. But anyway, that's
rambling to himself there.
Yeah, you can see Connor in the middle just being like, I have to live through this. But that's the degree of debate that we have to deal with, which is just borders are racist. Why? Because I can't go. I love as well. He says that he tried to go and he couldn't go. Like he's an official asylum seeker in France, and the British government said no, you don't get the visa. Why? Why might they do that, my friend? Who keeps doing all the terrorism? And I'm not joking. I mean, like, what is it? Like 60% of the terrorist attacks we've had in the UK since like 2010 have all been asylum seekers. That's just the facts. Yeah. It's like, look, you are disproportionately involved in terrorism or anything else. Also, you're fine in France. No, we're not going to take you. If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast, The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com and sign up to get access to all the premium content we have on the site.
Yeah, we've got absolutely loads of that because we've been doing this for over a year now, so we've got a massive library of content that we're really, really proud of. We've got loads of premium articles, which we have written by our in-house writers and external writers, such as this one by Hugo, which is talking about the great narrative of the World Economic Forum and how it's falling apart. The cracks are becoming visible. And we also have, for Silver Tier members and above, an audio track read by Jonathan Crow, who's a very, very good speaker, and this makes it easier for you. We also have our regular series, such as Contemplations, like this one, where I debate Josh about whether free will is an illusion or not. I am very firmly on the free will exists side of things, and Josh is wrong, but you can find out why if you go and sign up. We also have the epochs that Bo and I do, which is fantastic. At the moment, we're halfway through, well, 2/3 of the way through the series on Belisarius. Do you know who Belisarius is, Callum?
Got to reconquered Rome.
Yes, he did. And
lost it.
It's honestly a genuine tragedy, and it's a really sad tale. And we're just at the apex of his conquests at the moment. But next week, we'll get to enjoy the tragedy of it. It's really sad. But we also do loads of other stuff, like interviews that we did, one recently with Philip Tanzer, who's a men's rights activist and conservative activist. And in this second one, we end up talking about the sort of metaphysics of masculinity. What is it you're trying to uphold by being a man? And I think it's important. What's there to learn? And he's a very interesting thinker anyway. We also have the book club, which is fantastic. We're about to record another one now, but this last one we did was Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince. So if you want to get the most out of these books, you can join us there, because we've done a lot of work studying these. And we also do premium podcasts covering sensitive subjects, such as what happened to the January the 6th rioters. And we do slightly more academic ones, such as this next one about the origins of intersectionality. Where does the term come from? What's the point of it? Well, I went and read everything that Kimberly Crenshaw wrote about it, and, well, it's not good news, frankly.
In addition, you can also follow us on any of the social medias, such as Getter.com, so you can follow us there at lotuseaters_com, and also you'll be speaking at the Counter Conference conference.
Yes. Yeah, the Counter Conference at the London O2 on December the 8th. Yes. I'm going to be speaking on a panel with Jason Miller, Lawrence Fox, and a few others. It's going to be fantastic, so come down and see us there.
But anyway, if you'd like to get access to all that premium content or follow everything we do, please sign up at lotuseaters.com. Thank you and goodbye.